Camera's live.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the special board meeting for September 22nd, 2020. This has been called largely for a procedural reason regarding the Area H by-election that's coming up. I will turn it over. Before I call the meeting to order, I would like to recognize this meeting is taking place on the traditional territories of the Coast Salish and, in case of Director of Area F, Nuu-Chah-Nulth Peoples, I believe, in his area anyway. So with that, we'll get underway, and the first item on our agenda is the approval of the agenda. Moved by Director Morrison, seconded by Director Smith. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Any opposed? None opposed, motion carries. Ms. Legault.
The next item is public input period, and we have not received any submissions at this point.
Thank you. I believe that, does that take us, I've got no report of the chair today, and I believe that takes us down to SR1.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. SR1 is a staff report from the Legislative Services Division on the 2020 by-election statutory advertising. And because of the local conditions with distribution of newspapers in electoral area H, in accordance with the legislation, staff are recommending a resolution as follows. Whereas there is not a newspaper that is distributed at least weekly in electoral area H, North Oyster Diamond, and having considered the options and alternatives available, that for the purpose of statutory advertising for the 2020 electoral area H, North Oyster Diamond by-election, the CVRD post all notices online and on social media, and also use the Nanaimo News Bulletin, which the board considers would be reasonably equivalent to the notice which would be provided by a newspaper publication in the affected area if it were practicable.
Thank you. So moved by Director Haim, alternate Director Haim, seconded by Director Yanni DiNardo. Not Lanny DiNardo, Yanni DiNardo. Is there any discussion on that motion? Director Haim.
I do recognize the statutory requirements with regards to the advertising for the election. So as a result, I'm going to have a follow-up motion to this one, but this will allow us to meet our requirements under the Local Government Act.
Okay. All right, so we'll go ahead with this resolution. Any more discussion on this motion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? And any opposed? None opposed, the motion carries. Back to you, alternate Director Haim.
Thank you. Recognizing the limited distribution of the Nanaimo News Bulletin within the Area H boundaries, I'd like to move that the CVRD place additional election informational advertising in the November Take 5 magazine, which is distributed throughout Area H.
That's been moved. Do I have a seconder? Director Yanni DiNardo. Any discussion? I've got go to Director Haim as the mover, and then Director Smith. Director Haim.
I recognize that this wouldn't necessarily be the full statutory advertising. It's meant to provide information to the Area H people, again, recognizing the limited aspects of the Nanaimo News Bulletin.
Thank you. And go to Director Smith. I can't hear you now.
Okay, now can you hear?
Yep.
Okay. They gave me too many buttons on this headset.
Double mute.
Could it go in the Take 5 for October? Because I know the deadline might be right now. Is that also a possibility? Or is it just November that's required?
I'm not aware. I can't answer the question. I don't know if staff knows the deadlines for placing in Take 5 or any of the other directors. I'm unaware. Go ahead, alternate Director Haim, if you have any information there.
Recognizing the short time frame of this motion and this authorization, I'm comfortable with it just being in the November. I don't believe it can meet the October deadline, which is in production. Deadline for input, columns, stuff like that was the 15th. And in an email discussion with Marina, there was a reference to Tuesday, which I took as last Tuesday as being kind of the final day that she was interested in that. But the November one comes out November the 1st, which gives plenty of time for people to get the opportunity to read it prior to the actual election itself.
Okay, thank you. Is there any further discussion on the motion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Any opposed? None opposed, motion carries. I believe that takes us to the end of our deep, heavy agenda this afternoon. Ms. Legault, do we have anything for question period?
We do not have any question period submissions.
Thank you. And there's no closed session, so I'll ask for a motion to adjourn. Thank you all for taking time out of your lunch and an already busy day to come in and deal with this, so appreciate it. I'll take a motion to adjourn, moved by Director Yanni DiNardo, seconded by Director Smith. All in favor? And I'm assuming none opposed. We are adjourned. Thank you all, and hopefully we'll see you on the travels of